Good afternoon, and welcome to Skyhawk Pilot Lessons. I'm your host, Marty Conley. This week we're going to be talking about a series of different things, all the way from how you can prepare for your first test to how you can get involved on campus. But first, let's talk about the academics. Lassi is a test that students take, and it judges what your strengths and weaknesses are academically. The test results show us that the number one weakness of all freshmen is test strategies and test preparation. If you stay tuned, we're going to have more information on what Lassi is and how you can better prepare for your first test.
The Learning and Study Strategies Inventory, or Lassi, is a description of your attitudes and practices as they are right now in areas that research says contribute to success in college. Those attitudes and practices have been influenced by your high school habits and can be changed now that you're in college. At UTM, 75% of incoming freshmen took the Lassi during SOAR. After you took the Lassi, your results were compared to other students across the country to determine your individual strengths and weaknesses. When you receive your Lassi results, you may be a little overwhelmed or confused. There's a lot of information on that page. The Lassi provides 10 different scores related to learning and study strategies, and in addition to your results, you'll also see the results of your incoming class as a whole. Each scale is individually listed as strength, improve, or weakness. Your strengths are the things that you already do well and the things you'll fall back on if you start to struggle. The areas marked as weakness or improved aren't bad things. They're areas in which you don't have a lot of experience and you need more practice and improvement. These are the areas you need to focus on to improve your classroom performance and increase your chance for success in college. There are many resources here at UTM to help you work on those areas marked improved or weakness. For instance, we have classes dedicated to teaching study skills. We also have a math lab and a writing center, and you can always talk to your instructors or your academic advisors. I also encourage you to talk to your peers. You may find that one of your friends has a strength in an area in which you have a weakness. In particular, we know that your PEP leaders in general have strengths that many incoming freshmen have weaknesses. This means they are great resources for information. If you're not sure where to begin, your PEP leader may be a great place to start. If you have any questions, or even if you just want to talk about your individual Lassi results, the Student Success Center has advisors available to talk with you. Please visit us at 207 in Clement Hall, and I hope you have a great semester.
A freshman should prepare for their first test by, first and foremost, asking the teacher what the setup of the test is going to be. Are they going to have multiple choice? Are they going to have essay questions? What's the format going to be? You need to know so you know what to study. Second of all, you need to spread out your studying throughout the course of the test period, you can call it. Don't just wait till the day before because you're not going to be able to memorize that material and know it well enough to take the test and get an A. I use a million different strategies and tips when I take tests. I go from highlighting in my book as the teacher lectures while I'm reading. I do the assigned reading. Teachers give you reading that they suggest. It's not mandatory. Do it. It helps. A lot of their test questions come from things that they think you're not going to read. And then I do flashcards, which I could have somebody quiz me. I could read them before I take the test. You can take them anywhere with you. And then professors also like to put PowerPoint slides online of their lectures. I print all of those off, and as the professor's speaking, I highlight what they say, and I make little notes. Basically, I just divide up my studying over the course of the test period. I don't wait till the day before because it's not going to absorb into my mind, and I'm not going to pass my test. So, as Dr. Daniel says, don't try and take the whole elephant in one bite because it's not going to work.
Mandy provided a lot of different study options for you, but the number one thing is finding what works for you, whether that's flashcards, reading over your notes, highlighting, or studying with a friend. The main thing is to do what works for you and to study hard for your first test. Not only do we want you to study hard for your first test, we want you to be doing well in your classrooms. Up next, we have a segment teaching you how to slant.
Hi, my name is Darnisha Whitmore, and today I'm going to talk to you about the terminology slant. Many of you may remember the motivational speaker Bill Cordes speaking to you about this during FYI. Slant stands for sit up, lean forward, ask questions, nod your head, and sit in the T-zone. The S, which means sit up, you sit up in class to be more alert, and it stops you from falling asleep in class. The L, which means lean forward. Lean forward so you can be more attentive and your professors also know that you're paying attention. The A, which means ask questions. Ask questions anytime that you're behind on the material or lost on anything so that you can catch up. The N, which means nod your head. Nod your head to help assure yourself that you understand what's going on and that you're not behind. The T, which means the T-zone. The T-zone is the first row and the center rows anytime that you walk into a classroom. So, please remember to use the terminology slant anytime that you go into the classroom. This may not only help you academically, but also help the professors notice you. So remember slant and good luck on the rest of your semester.
Each year, we see more and more students coming to UT Martin, and we also see more and more first-generation students coming. Ashley Grimes covers a segment in which we interview a first-generation student, and we can find out exactly how they feel and how they cope with it.
Hey guys, I'm Ashley Grimes and I'm here with Kimberly Ratliff, who is a first generational student, and she's here to talk to us about what it feels like to be a first generational student. So, Kimbra, how does it feel?
I actually like the fact that I'm a first generation student because I feel like I'm going to have that sense of accomplishment once I do get through school and I get my degree and I want to go on to law school. So it's a big pride thing for me as well as my family because my dad didn't even graduate high school.
Wow.
So, there is a lot of pressure there too because he wants to push me harder and harder. That way I do have a better life than he had. And I just take pride in that opportunity that I have. But there are a lot of pressures that come along with it because they don't really understand what it's like to be in college. So I can't really depend on my family to help me through that pressure. Even though they're there to give me that encouragement, they don't know what it's like to balance school as well as work because I have to help, work my way through college. So it's rewarding, but then there's also a lot of pressure.
So is coming to college something you would say it's beneficial, or are you going to teach your kids that they should go to college? What do you think about that?
Oh, definitely, especially in today's society because it's changing so much and it's almost like you need some type of degree to do anything. So I would definitely encourage my children to go to college and that it shouldn't stop with me. It should continue.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kimbra, for being with us today, and maybe all of you first generational students out there learned something from Kimbra. Thank you.
SOCT, that's the Students of Concern team. It's a group of full-time faculty and staff who get together to try to help students succeed and persist to graduation while they're studying here at UTM. The full-time staff are from student affairs, from student health, counseling, student success, housing, campus police, student conduct, and we get together and see if there are students who are having some difficulties and if they need assistance to help identify some resources that will help them succeed. Well, students can get involved basically only really in one way because this is a confidential and private process. That's why we have full-time staff members who work with this team with the students themselves. However, the students are very much involved in this in their way to help identify their peers and colleagues who may be having difficulty in their studies and getting along here at UTM. Some people catch right on and go, and some people don't really latch on to the process well, and the things also come up in people's lives and students' lives that they need help with. So, if you have a friend, if a student has a friend who maybe is drinking more than they should have, or seems to be depressed, or have isolated themselves, or maybe even talks about harming themselves, then they can alert the team of this person, and then we can take a look and see if maybe we need to step in and help them. So the student's role is very important in this process, and it's a confidential process, and we have a reporting means on the web at www.utm.edu/hawkalert, and it's very important for a student to help identify some friends who may be having difficulty or having difficulty themselves.
Hi, I'm Natalie Board from the Office of PSEPP. Welcome to you freshmen once again. I am here to inform you about the educational training that is required of each of you as freshmen here on the University of Tennessee at Martin campus in regards to domestic violence and sexual assault. As you have been previously informed, each of you are required to master 2 of our educational programs that have been set aside for each of you. First, There is the Personal Safety Empowerment Program project, the Prevention Education Training for all incoming freshmen. You must first register in Gooch 110, or you can call 7940 and select your day, your time for your 1-hour training. Please note that this must be completed by October the 6th. Second, you will be required to go online for the Student Success Sexual Assault Prevention Program. You may do so by going to www.studentsuccess.org/UTM10/sexual assault/. You must also access your student code, which is 10886. I have to repeat that, 10886. Follow the instructions provided to take the program. You will be asked to input an email address and password. Please be sure to record all of the information, as it will allow you to re-enter the program as a returning student and complete the program in several sittings if you choose, without having to start over. You will retain access to this program until October 31st, 2010. If you have any questions, please feel free to call PSEPP office at 7869, or you may drop by our office, which is located in the University Center, room 236. So please, on behalf of PSEPP, we encourage each of you to please do your training and become very much involved as well as educated in domestic violence and sexual assault. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Skyhawk Pilot Lessons. Tune in next week for more information on how you can stay up to date in the classroom as well as around campus. Thank you and have a good week.